Hi, this is Minder Chen. I'm a professor of Management Information Systems at Martin Viss Smith School of Business and Economics at CSU Channel Island. In this video lecture in e-commerce, I'm going to talk about the so-called 4 C's in e-commerce. Let's look at what are the 4 C's. First, certainly for any business, it's the customers. And the 3 other C are commerce, content, and community. And if you want to start an e-commerce business, firstly, you have to think about what kind of customer do you have in mind. And if you're selling product or offering service, then that certainly is considered a commerce aspect of it. However, as a website you operate, you need to also think about the information content or multimedia content. Video, sounds, music, all part of the content. We used to say in e-commerce, the content is the king, which means the content is what you attract people to your website. And the last C in this 4C is the community. Okay, you can start e-commerce website thinking about a community of users who have some shared interest or experience, and then you can try to support this community, which eventually they become your customer, and you would, through this community, try to gather and distribute content that may be of their interest. And eventually you can turn some of the community user to become a buyer to purchase product or service through this community-based website. Let me just give you a kind of semi-hypothetical case. Many years ago I received an email, which is a lot of people actually receive similar email, that it's a story about someone who was at Neiman Marcus restaurant and ordered a cookie as a dessert and really liked it and decided to ask for the recipe. And the waiter basically said yes, it will be $2.50. The guest thought that it's $2.50, so basically I just put it on my tab and didn't really look at the credit card receipt and just signed it, and went home and found out it's $250. He tried to argue with Neiman Marcus, but they say, well, you got the recipe, and it's not returnable. And so he got pretty upset and decided to just spread this recipe, since he owns it, around by email. And that's how I got the email about the story. And one of my students, she actually took the recipe quite seriously and went back home and brought the recipe to her mom, and her mom actually cooked some cookie based on the recipe, and she brought some back for me. It turned out to be actually quite delicious. Whether the story is true or not, but if that's the starting point, okay, thinking about recipe, okay, in this 4C, which C it belongs to? Think about it for a minute or 2 or 3. Yeah, it's the content. Okay, so recipe is a content, and in a very narrow sense, you can talk about recipe for cooking, but in the broader sense, it can be recipe for cooking, including baking, traditional cooking, or different style Chinese cooking, or whatever. But that's the content element of this in this 4C. How about the community? Okay, if we're talking about baking recipe or cookie recipe, we're talking about cookie lover. That's a community. Okay. maybe we should hire Cookie Monster to be our spokesperson for this community website. How about commerce? Think about what you can sell through this website once you have the recipe and you have a group of people interested in making cookie. Okay, potentially you can sell a lot of baking material, chocolate chips, flours, cookie cutters, and others, cooking equipment, baking equipment. That's commerce. You can potentially sell the content. People can say, "Oh, I want select those recipe and put it in a customized kind of cookbook," and so you can sell that customized cookbook based on your content to a member of your community or to anybody who visits your website. So this is where commerce and content overlap. Okay, and actually this 3C kind of overlap with each other. But think about that market making concept, such as a website like Zazos.com. How can you create a kind of market making website? Okay, think about it. You may want to pause and think about it. Okay, I'll give you my answer here. For instance, you can actually have a list of recipe listed, and then people can actually order cookie based on the cookie recipe. Even better, if you take advantage of the flexibility of the website, people potentially can adjust the recipe. I don't want that much sugars. I want some raisin. No, I want something else instead of raisin, like cranberry instead of raisin. And in my cookie order. Okay, so you have that kind of mass customization or in building into your website, and so you can differentiate with the traditional mass market kind of bakery store. Even better, you don't even have to have a bakery behind the website. You can kind of recruit company or even individual, if legally they're allowed to sell cookie to others, to basically bake the cookie based on that highly customized recipe based on the user's choice, and then bake the cookie and sell it to the user. So the website become basically a marketplace. Okay, so this 4C can help us to think about where we can start to thinking about e-commerce website and how we can extend from the content to community, community to commerce, vice versa. Okay, even you try to sell like chocolate online, that's commerce, but then you need to thinking about what kind of chocolate related content people may be interested in reading about, and also try to form some kind of community of your buyer, so they can share some of their experience in eating chocolate or buying chocolate. Okay, so personally I felt this is a very useful model that you should bear that in mind when you're thinking about your own e-commerce strategy. And Jeff Bezos, who is the founder and CEO of Amazon.com, stated the following. He basically said we need to obsess over our customer. And although web is relatively new, and so we really need to think really hard how we can offer something different from the physical world or physical store to attract customer to the website. And also on the web, if you make some customer unhappy, they're going to spread the words around. So the word of mouth, we call it WOM. The word of mouth effect amplified dramatically on the net. And so the shift of the bargaining power is shifting towards the user, away from the business. Customers are in power. They have more bargaining power because they can have a voice. They can easily switch to another competitor on the web. I encourage you to actually look at this link where document the creation of Amazon.com by Jeff Bezos. He was working actually for, I guess, an investment bank at Wall Street, and making actually quite a bit of money, and has really good career and high position. He saw a kind of industry-wide report on the internet usage, and found that it would increase. It would increase by 2,300% a year. That certainly is a pretty dramatic increase. So he thought that if I want to do something, this is a great opportunity. I believe he was a computer science graduate, so he definitely has that technical background. So he methodologically actually studied 20 mail order business, and because remember, web for retailing allow you to purchase online, so mail order is kind of a similar direct sale model, and that's why I think he chose mail order business to study, to find out what he can sell if he want to sell something online, and eventually he picked books. I believe after he'd done the study, he actually went to one of the major book industry trade show in LA and tried to find out more about it, and found out there's a lot of information about books that has been published available. You can easily obtain that. And also found out there's one of the major book distributors in Seattle. That may be one reason he settled in Seattle. Because initially Amazon's strategy is what we call drop ship model. Drop ship, which means they would take the order and then drop the order to a distributor, and the distributor will ship it to the customer for Amazon. And certainly over time, Amazon has grown and started build its own distribution center, have its own inventory. And so over time, they reduce this kind of dropship model. They name it Amazon because they want to eventually sell everything, like the Amazon River, which has so many branches, which means Amazon carry different category of product, not just book. Okay. Think about the 4C that we discussed and see how Amazon embraced this 4C. Another website which I encourage you to take a look, it's called hothot.com. It was founded actually quite early, in around 94, which is probably the earliest you can get, similar to Amazon. It's a much smaller website, still out there, surviving. Guess what the website is selling? Go and find out. Okay, I'll wait for you when you come back. Click the pause. Okay. Yes, it sells hot sauce. Okay, think about it. If you actually try to have a hot sauce specialty store, it's very difficult for you to survive, to make money for such specialized store. But online, since you can reach out for a larger audience across United States or across the world, the whole world, it is possible that you have enough potential customer to sustain your business. This is using Michael Porter's kind of generic strategy. the strategy used by hot.com is specialization, okay, to be more focused. Let's come back and talk about the word of mouth, WOM. Sometimes we call it EWOM, electronic word of mouth, like on the web. Yelp has a lot of comment on restaurant, hotel, and things like that. Amazon's user review is an example of word of mouth. eBay, buyer and seller can rate each other because the trust is very important in the e-commerce world because there's no physical store. So building the trust through this kind of word of mouth, user review and rating is one good way to build up the trust of the buyer or the seller. I'd like you to watch this video called United Breaks My Guitar. Okay. And while you're watching the video, I want you to think about the following. Who may have been benefit from this video? The company, individual, or specific product? And also think about why this video went viral. Okay, what make people share this video with other people? So the video, I believe, has probably more than 10 million viewing. Okay, you can check it out online. And also think about how can you create a viral video like this to promote your product, your service, or your company. Okay. Just a note, there's a very recent study showed that anger is more influential than other emotions such as joy through the social network, like through YouTube video. And so we need to think about customer and thinking about their experience, their emotion. And so when you start thinking about e-commerce business, you may want to first thinking about what do your customer needs from you. Okay, and then you need to think about how you can provide information or other means to satisfy their needs. Also think about what process do your customer have to go through in order to purchase something or to review your product or services. Okay, so there's a number of questions that you can ask yourself, okay, in order to address this process issue. And next is, what do you need to get from your customer? Certainly you want them to pay you to purchase the product, but you may want to gather some additional information about your customer. So what information will be appropriate for you to gather? Okay, if you try to gather too much information, they may not tell you all the real data. They may fake the data for privacy concern, etc. Make sure you add something that you can use to benefit the customer in return. And use that information to build a long-term relationship with your customer. For instance, get in touch with them by email, through email marketing, to inform them about new product or services. Let's take a look of virtual community. The community on the web is referred to as virtual community. And in the virtual community, you definitely need to have user join this community. The user would reveal, hopefully, their profile, which is demographic. And sometimes the user can generate content. User-generated content is a very important element of a virtual community. The content attracts more people to come to the website. Content certainly can be in the form of discussion forum, the interaction, the posting, etc. Can be money, can be their knowledge. Okay, sometimes we refer to this as crowdsourcing or even crowdfunding. Okay, we can raise money through our community website. And like Kickstart is an example of crowdfunding website. And once you have a lot of users on your website, you can start thinking about providing content. By the way, content may come from the user themselves. selling hard goods like cookie cutter, cooking ingredients, using our cookie example, the game, the services, and so you can recruit other provider to come and sell stuff to your community member, and that's how you can generate revenue. And once you have a lot of traffic, then potentially you can actually place ads and charging advertisers for placing ads on your website using Google Google AdSense or other like traditional like DoubleClick to place ads on your website. But if you use ad, then people who visit your website may click on the ads and eventually leave your website. So some website, if they have other way to make money to generate revenue, they may be hesitate to actually using advertisement as a revenue generation mean. Parent Soup is a community website. It was acquired by iVillage, which was founded by two working professional women. They were frustrated by at the time when they created a website, they couldn't find information on web related to the working professional woman. So they started this community website called iVillage. And they expanded and acquired this Parent Soup. So if you go to Parent Soup, this is an old screen snapshot. And they even kind of further divide this parenting website into parents of baby, of toddler, teenager, etc. Different age group in terms of children have different issues the parents need to worry about. It's a never-ending game, trust me. Groupon. Groupon, to some extent, is a community website. It's really tried to kind of use the group buying power to negotiate a better deal. Groupon's business model is that they will go to a local business and say, I can help to promote your business if you can sell the electronic coupon through our website. So for business, this kind of e-coupon is a way for them to bring hopefully new customer to come to their store. They probably were losing money through this coupon deal, but hopefully the customer will come back even without coupon. Okay. In reality, some of the business may find out that people who use this kind of coupon will only come when you have a coupon. If you don't have a coupon, they are not going to come back. So they may not attract the right kind of potential customer they wanted. For a while, this kind of Groupon type of website have been quite popular. There's Living Social. There's something called Amazon Local, but they kind of differentiate differently in terms of the merchandise. Some focus on electronic merchandise, high fashions, and so this is how even in a kind of crowded space, you can always try to differentiate in competing with other websites.